So we got the deck lid on the car. Both these quarter panels have been replaced. These are brand new quarter panels. They're Muscle Car GT quarter panels. And then what I did, I went ahead and sandblasted the quarter panel extensions. I got all the paint off, and you can see them right here. When we put the deck lid on with the extensions, the deck lid is hitting the extension. Now this deck lid fits super, super nice. I like the way it fits. It's a good deck lid, but it still needs some finessing. Over here on this side, we got a really nice gap. It comes around. This corner matches the corner of the quarter panel, and then it's real tight right here. So I'm going to take some tape, and if you ever want to make a straight line, you should always use tape. Tape's the best thing for straight lines. And I'm going to come down this body line right here, and then I'm just going to kind of draw a body line with my tape.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
And I want it to be exactly the same gap as what we got. Now, the reason I did that is because we're going to have to take our grinder and grind this lip right here. We're going to have to grind this lip. And I want to do that one more time. There we go. Okay. We're going to have to grind this lip and then weld it. That's what we're going to have to do. So this body line looks good, except for at the extension right here. Now there is another thing I can do, but this thing really fits tight, is that I can sand the extension down, but this is pot metal. And if I do that, what's going to happen is we're going to make that pot metal very thin, and we can't weld that. So we're going to go ahead and work with the deck lid itself. These are factory extensions, and we want to keep them. So on this side, it's a little bit different. This side is very tight, and the gap is very, very tight. And you can see right there at the extension where it's literally jammed in to the extension itself. But also, pay close attention. Look how tight this gap is compared to the other side. One more thing we got to look at on this side over here, the driver's side of the car, is if we go ahead and zoom in on that left side corner of the deck lid, you can see that the contour of the deck lid does not match the quarter panel. And we need that to match. That has got to match. There's no two ways about it. You can see this is more square than it is round. And you can also see we got a gap right here, but we're losing, and then right in here we got a gap, but we're starting to lose it down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some tape, and then we're going to follow the quarter panel just like this. And that's what we want. Just like that, because we're trying to manipulate getting rid of this part of the deck lid. Okay. And you can see it's a nice gap here. And then it starts to get gappy here, but this is actually overhanging right there in the corner. And then to go ahead and true it up, we're going to follow our tape line right on down, and we're going to have to weld all this up. That's the only way this is going to work. We'll have to grind it down and weld it, just like that. Okay, now that we have marked our deck lid off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start grinding this down. Now I'm only going to go to the tape. And more than likely it's going to separate the deck lid from the inner shell. So don't be alarmed if it does. Just take your time and just grind it down only to the tape line. can see, just as I thought, we were going to go ahead and take the rolled lip. We're going to cut through that. So we're going to stop there. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Now that we got our deck lid trimmed down, we're going to go ahead and close it and see what it looks like. We don't want to lose this. I'm just going to get it out of the way. There we go. And then we're going to close it down. And now we got a really nice gap. I'm going to show you that. And this gap here is looking really good too. So let me get that. There we go. Let me get that underscore out. Now you can see we got a nice gap. The deck lid follows the quarter panel, and now what we can do, we can start welding it up and finishing this out. All right, now that we got all the grinding done, what we got to do is we got to get this welded back together. You can see right there where the lip has separated from the deck lid itself, and then actually we can't do it, but if we split this apart right here, the inside would literally come separate from the outside. So I'm going to take my channel locks and we're going to line this up just like I want it, just like that. And then we're going to take another pair and go just like this. And then we're going to get one more pair in here. Just like that. And now we can go ahead and weld this up, and then we'll grind it down and roll the edge, and it should have a nice, clean, professional gap between the deck lid and the car itself. Okay, we got it welded. Now what we got to do is we got to go ahead and grind that down. Now I don't know if you noticed, when I welded that on there, I was just doing very short welds. I don't want to make a long weld. I don't want to do a stitch weld. I just want to do a small, minute spot weld. And I want to bam, 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 bam. We're not trying to build this up. All we're trying to do is weld that lip back on and get everything like it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Roll-A-Lock grinder with 36 grit, and now I'm going to go ahead and sand this down, grind this down to a flush finish, and I'm going to watch my edge. I don't want to go past where we actually initially cut off. That looks really, really nice, but we're not done. Let me show you how we're going to finish it off. I got two files here. I got a metal file, which is specifically made for this. And then I got a rasp file that we're going to go over at first. And then we got a sheet metal file. I don't like this corner right here. It's just a little too square. I'm going to go ahead and round that off just a little bit. There we go. I don't want to round it off too much. I just want that factory look. That's a little sharp right here. There we go. And then, once we're done doing that, we're going to go ahead and take a piece of 80 grit to finish that edge out. And that, what you just saw right there, is how you make a gap fit the body of the car. And when you get all done, you want to take the flashlight and you want to look to make sure everything is welded up tight, and it is. Looks really nice. So then, if we go ahead and shut the deck lid, it should look really nice as we close it down. And you can see it's fitting nice, it's not rubbing. We got a nice even gap over here. And I see just a little bit, and I think what I'm going to do on this is I am going to take my, metal file and I'll file the edge of our fender extension down, because this gap looks perfect all the way around, so I don't want to mess that gap up. And I think by taking my metal file or possibly my Rollo-Lock grinder, I'll be able to get rid of just enough of that to clean it up, because that looks really nice. I like it, and we're going to leave it like that. And then if we look at this gap right here, you can see that gap looks perfect. Came out really nice. We got this corner rounded off. It fits the quarter panel great, and everything is looking good. So that's how you fix the gaps on your muscle car, basically just what I did. Now, if the gap is too big and you want to shorten the gap, then you're either going to have to add some metal to it and weld it up, or another thing you can do, you saw how I put some bead welds on that edge over there. You can go ahead and build the edge up, build it up with weld, and grind it down. I've had to do that many times, many times. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete. I'm hoping you're learning from this. That came out really nice. I like it. I found a couple dents in the deck lid, our brand new deck lid, as I was following the light. Where's it? Here's our light right here. So when you follow the light, you can come over here and see I saw some imperfections. So that was from shipping. There's nothing we can do about it. I would rather go ahead and fix a few minor dings in it than buy some cheap, inexpensive pile of shit aftermarket jerk-off deck lid that doesn't fit like Dynacorn, and do what I got to do to fix this. Once again, this is a Muscle Car GT deck lid, specifically made for a 68 Mustang. It fits really nice. The hinges I don't like. Those are Dynacorn hinges. You see what happened. They don't even hold the weight up. The springs are shit. So, you know, that's up to the owner, whatever he wants to do with it. But this is Pete, and I just showed you something, and hopefully you learned something. Take it easy. We'll see you later. And if you're not doing it right, you are not doing it at all.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.